I turn on some non-copyright music and start taking off in my A-10 Warthog, and this prompt keeps coming up and I'm not going to do anything about it. And let's try to start taking off. I think I grammatically messed up in the last sentence. As you can see, I am trying to dogfight gravity, and I decide to turn on my ready tracer airspace, and I get my lesson. So I'm going to restart the simulator, and I can clearly see that X-plane is responding and sound is detected. Full throttle, and then I try to take off. And I again repeat the same mistake, and I did not learn my lesson. And that's the reason I'm trying to take off on an unpaved runway. As you can see, I have taken off from a different runway. And now I am using my very special gun to gun at my own aircraft from which I have taken off. As you can see, I am trying to use the cockpit controls over the hands, but I realized that X-plane has only modeled its Cessna, so it has done me dirty. Anyway, I keep my flight steady while turning, and I discover camera mode. As you can see, I have come from PTFS and don't care. I now try to get revenge at the air traffic controller for commanding me. Sweet freedom, boys. Sweet freedom. Anyways, I now try to escape the wrath of Mother Nature. So, as I foolishly gun to deploy my airbags, I decide it's the best time to pitch down, and I cleverly do a maneuver to bomb in, and then yeah, not a very nice area to do that. I try to gun that building, and then I crash into the ground. Anyway, I try to take off again. This time learned my lesson, and I'm now searching for I'm searching for a joystick to manually control my joystick, and there is no such option, so I just start taking off. Don't make me run, I am full of rocket. I told you not to make me run, I am full of rocket. Anyway, I slide on to the baggage carrier so I could pick up my luggage. And now I am going to try and take off from a now at least cave. I went to turn on my fan. Anyways, we are now transition to an unpaved runway, and I'm desperately trying to escape the wrath of Mother Nature. And I succeed. Well, at least kind of. And then I gun for revenge from the North Star. And you can see this cinematic clip of me going like a Boeing. And that prompt almost ended my career. Anyway, I'm now thinking of doing maneuvers. So I now thinking of doing it near the airport. Oh wait, must have miscalculated. I am now thinking of landing on the runway, but I'm accidentally landing on the taxiway, which is now my runway. I now decide that I'm too fast to do that and head for an unpaved runway. I deploy my spoilers thinking I could turn in time, but then have to line up with another runway. Ouch! As you can see, status report, I have landed, which is the world's greatest achievement. Now I'm going to replay what I just did. Would you just please wait? And then I'm going to decide that I don't want to play this session and decide to play another life. Another one. And I think this is the flagship feature of the update because this is the only thing. I then request FAA services and look around in my cockpit. I put full throttle and then decide that I'm taking off from runway 6 and not runway 1. And I have successfully taken off. And I have failed successfully to land. Butter. Yeah, that was butter. Anyway, I used my GAU-8 Avenger at some buildings and my own ground crew. And then I try to escape the wrath of Mother Nature by using my rudder. Then, as foolish as I am, I attempt a cool channel. But that doesn't work. And I send a few missiles at random houses. And I narrowly escape being another part of Earth's flawless 1:1:0 clay-D ratio. And I am now steadily climbing and gently turning as the PTFS player I am. Never used tilt before. Then I decide to do a very nice maneuver that actually is a good maneuver to show the people that I am an actual pilot and not a person who would crash into their houses because of a simple maneuver. I now attempt a very famous maneuver to flip my plane, and I have discovered that this is more economical than turning around normally. So I kindly request Ryanair to import this, and now I'm going to bomb this random neighborhood because I felt like it. I then gun a few houses and start climbing, and it feels like I'm getting to the end of this video. I have talked too much, so now enjoy this very nice landing on my unpaved runway. As you can see, I have spotted my runway and now turning towards it to land. As you can see, that was clearly not butter. I meant that was clearly butter. And I now run over a few civilian houses because I felt like it. And I also hit marked the earth in the process. Now I am trying to go around as the pro pilot I am, and I actually do this successfully without hit marking the earth. And this stupid prompt keeps coming up. I now think that the best way to end this video is to crash the plane, and I attempt to do exactly that. I get my plane into position and height and try to attempt one of that famous maneuvers and crash into the earth. Thanks for watching guys. I'll see you in the next video.